Hi, Taylor T. Carlson, and I'm back with another video for you. It's rock and roll time again, and we've got a great special edition release to take a look at today. One of my favorite rock singers of all time, Billy Idol. This is the guy who beautifully blended pop rock, hard rock, punk rock, new wave, everything in between. One of my favorite musicians of all time. But back in the 70s, he was in the raw, hard and heavy punk band Generation X. It's where he largely got his beginnings as a rock singer, and I've been looking around for a few Generation X releases on vinyl and not having much luck. And then, as fate would have it, I went in to visit my buddy Joey over at Record City not too terribly long ago, and behind the counter, I found this. This is the Generation X Deluxe Edition. It's a 3 LP set, including their original 1978 debut album, plus 2 LPs of bonus material. So we're going to unbox this, take a look at what's inside, and you can see if this is something you'll want for yourself for your turntable. Here's the back cover. We got our track list there. Got Billy Idol here as well as the other members of the band. Disc 1 is the original album with its original UK running order. The US version of the LP cut off some tracks and threw on some non-album singles. Disc 2 is the single A-sides and B-sides. Disc 3 is some unreleased mixes and outtakes. I think only one song on this particular disc is previously released. So I'll do a quick overview of what's on each disc before we open this up. Disc 1, which is the original album, has the following tracks: From the Heart, 100 Punks, Listen, Ready, Steady, Go, Kleenex, Promises, Promises, Day by Day, The Invisible Man, Kiss Me Deadly, Too Personal, and Youth, Youth, Youth. The song Kiss Me Deadly is not the same song as the Lita Ford one, for those of you that aren't familiar with Generation X. Disc 2 on here is the A-sides and B-sides. First track on there is Your Generation, which was an A-side single. Next track is an alternate version of Day by Day, which was the B-side of Your Generation. Next is Wild Youth, which was a single A-side. And then the next song is Wild Dub, which is the dub version and the B-side of Wild Youth. Next song was No, 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 which is the B-side of the Ready, Steady, Go single. Next song is Trying for Kicks, the B-side of the Friday's Angels single. And then This Heat is the last track on here, which was the B-side of Friday's Angels. Disc 3 is the outtakes and mixes. First 2 tracks on here are the Phil Wainman versions of Ready, Steady, Go and No, No, No. Next track is Give Me Some Truth, which is an outtake that was previously on the US version of the first Generation X album. That's a cover of a John Lennon song. There's the Rock On Dub outtake, single version of Promises, Promises, and then the rest of this third LP are the Win Stanley mixes for From the Heart, The Invisible Man, Kleenex, Day by Day, 100 Punks, Too Personal, and Youth, Youth, Youth. So we've got a wealth of material here. 3 LPs packed with material. So why don't we take a look at what's inside here? Disc 1, we have the first Generation X album with its original UK track list running order. This is the same art that's used on the cover of the box set, but it's its original sepia tone look. On the back here, we got a rundown of the track list, production info, the same photos of the band members. Inside here, we've got a lyric sheet on one side. On the other side, we got some great vintage photos of the group. Then we've got our actual record here. I love the way they did this X pattern with the track list and the band name, and kind of the same deal on the other side with the colors reversed. LPs 2 and 3 are going to be in the other gatefold set here. So here we've got the cover of this side. Track list for disc 2 and 3 on this side. Awesome vintage photo of Billy Idol and his bandmates there. The inner gatefold of discs 2 and 3, ton of rare photos here. I mean, I absolutely love seeing stuff like this, being a big Billy Idol fan, especially this era of his career, back before he took on a more commercial sound. So we'll take a look at the inner sleeve inserts and the discs here as well. So disc 2, which is the single A-sides, again, more very cool vintage photographs of the band. On this side, you get production info, lyrics, more information down there. Our actual record here, again, follows the same pattern as the previous disc with the Generation X logo. Then we have disc 3, the final disc of the set. There's a great essay on here from Adrian Thrills. I'm honestly not totally sure who that is, but I'm not going to read this whole thing here, but you get an idea of what's included. Here you actually have photos of the singles. You got the Your Generation single, Wild Youth single, and Ready Steady Go singles. What was a list of what the B-sides were. And again, the disc pretty much follows the same pattern as everything else. So, what do I think of this set? Again, I adore Billy Idol, one of my favorite singers, and this might actually be my favorite era of his career, back when he was really raw, young, and hungry. It's a lot less polished than the later material. I've seen some reviews online stating that the mastering on the first disc of this set is not great. However, I think some of those reviews kind of miss the point. It's punk rock from the 1970s. Even remastered, it's not going to sound like the Beatles. It's not going to sound like Electric Light Orchestra. It's not going to sound like Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's going to sound like raw punk rock. And that's what this release sounds like. It's great to get the first LP in its original UK running order finally. I mean, there have been CD releases of this as well as some of those other A-sides and B-sides as bonus tracks. I mean, the first album's got some great cuts on there, a few hit singles and deep tracks. Second disc has all the single A-sides and B-sides, so it's nice to have those in addition to the album because those were never actually on the original UK release of the album. And then you got all those previously unreleased outtakes and mixes on disc 3. Some have argued that those might have, a little more punch than the mixes of the original album here. I'm honestly not a huge audiophile, so I really can't say for sure there. They might be a little more aggressive and polished. Either way, they do sound great, and I think anyone at all who owns a record player and is a fan of Billy Idol, especially his early Generation X stuff, should absolutely own this set. I really hope we're going to get similar treatment for the other albums in the Generation X catalog. I believe they had 2 albums after this, plus one unreleased one that came out much later. Are you a fan of Billy Idol or Generation X? Have you picked this set up, or will you be picking it up? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also remember to subscribe to my channel for additional content, and give this video a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson, and I will see you next time.